न जागर सुषुप्तमवेति नित्यं तद्ब्रह्म निष्कलमहं न च भूतसङ्गः देहेन्द्रियगुणान् कर्मान् अमले सच्चिदात्मनि अध्यस्यन्त्यविवेकेन गगने नीलतादिवत् अज्ञानान्मानसोपाधेः कर्तृत्वादीनि चात्मनि कल्प्यन्ते भुगदे चन्द्रे चलनादि यथाम्भसः रागेच्छा सुख दुःखादि बुद्धौ सत्यां प्रवर्तते सुषुप्तौ नास्ति तन्नाशे तस्माद् बुद्धेस्तु नात्मनः प्रकाशोऽर्कस्य तो ह्यस्य शैत्यमग्निर्यथोष्णता स्वभावः सच्चिदानन्द नित्यनिर्मलतात्मनः आत्मनः सच्चिदंसश्च बुद्धेर्वृत्तिरिति भयम् संयोज्य सा विवेकेन जानामीति प्रवर्तते
प्रातः स्मरामि हृदि संस्फुरदात्मतत्त्वं सच्चित्सुखं परमहं सगतिं तुरीयं यत्स्वप्नजागरसुषुप्तमवेति नित्यं तद्ब्रह्म निष्कलमहं न च भूतसङ्गः We were studying verse number 22 and we move on to verse number 23, Atma Bodha. Ragecha sukhadukkadi buddhau satyam pravartate sushuptau nasti tannase tasmad buddhestu natmanah रागेचा सुख दुःखादि बुद्धौ सत्यां प्रवर्तते सुषुप्तौ नास्ति तन्नाशे तस्मात् बुद्धेस्तु नात्मनः. Attachment, desire, pleasure, pain, etc. arise when intellect is present, not in deep sleep when it is absent. Therefore, they are of intellect but not of Atman. Previous verse, he spoke about the doership, the kartrutva, the doership and enjoyment. Oh, we didn't do verse 22, is it? Just as movement of water to the moon, etc., we didn't do it. Oh, okay, okay. Rewind. இப்போ ஒரு வருஷம் பின்னாடி போறோம். Reverse gear.
You just started it, sir. You just started it. You just started it.
Oh,
You just started it and.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. இந்த மூணை பார்த்த உடனே சரி வாட்டர் மூணு சொன்னோமேன்ட் ஐ ஜஸ்ட் ரிமெம்பர். Okay. See, verse number 22 is about the kartrutva, the agency of the doership, agency of action, etc. I'm reading verse number 22 now. The agency of action, etc. of the mind are attributed through ignorance to self. Now, what is kartrutva? Kartrutva means the agency of action. Carefully follow and don't get confused with the other context of what we talk about responsibility. Kartrutva is something slightly difficult to comprehend. But sir, we have to take responsibility and all. Don't start. You take responsibility now, you have to pay the price. It is as simple as it is as simple. I have done it no. Yes, obviously you have done it. You have to pay the price. This is kartrutva. Are you able to follow? What is kartrutva? I am the doer. No. As long as you say I am the doer, as long as you believe that you are the doer, you will necessarily go through the experiences of omission and commission of the doer. If you say I am the doer, and in Atma Bodha, what are you supposed to say? I am not the doer. You will feel like laughing at yourself when you say I am not the doer, because you know that you are the doer. You are ignorant. What else to do? You are ignorant, so you keep saying I am the doer. No, I am the doer. No, I am the doer. No. As long as you keep saying I am the doer, I am the doer, I am the doer. What is the doer? I'll explain doership first. What is doer? Why have I not done what is good? Why have I committed a sin? This is kartrutva. Why have I not done what is good? I did something good, but nobody is recognizing it. I should be given at least 10 Nobel Prizes by now. For what? For the good that I have done, I should have been. Why I didn't do good? I did good, but nobody recognizes that. Why have I committed a sin? Taittiriya Upanishad, one of the 10 Upanishads. Taittiriya Upanishad, chapter 2, section 9, mantra 2. Taittiriya Upanishad. Chapter 2, section 9, mantra 2 is the last mantra of Taittiriya Upanishad. In that last mantra, he says, distress thoughts of kartrutva does not come to a person who knows the truth. What is the distress thoughts? Kartrutva is the distress thoughts. To a person who knows the truth, these thoughts do not arise. These thoughts do not arise to a person who do not have kartrutva. What are the thoughts? Why have I not done what is good? I have done good, but nobody has recognized it. Why am I committing a? Why did I commit a sin? All these thoughts of kartrutva do not disturb a person who has known the truth. What is kartrutva? I am explaining kartrutva. Kartrutva means omission and commission. All actions has omission and commission. Are you able to follow the word omission and commission? Since action always has this omission and commission, there is no such thing as perfect action. Action has omission and commission. Since all actions has this omission and commission, there is no such thing called a perfect action. And we are all believe that there is something called perfect action. And there are people who will tell me also, sir, I am a perfectionist, sir. I am a perfectionist. Whatever I do, I want it to be done perfectly. I do it perfectly and I want everybody also to do. I also say, yeah, correct. What else you can say? Actions has omission and commission. Omission and commission means plus and minus. All actions has omission and commission means something positive in it, something negative in it. Now, both are integrated in a single action. What is kartrutva now? Okay. Do you remember the formula I gave last week? Human being equals karta plus bhokta, I said. If you remember that, human being equals karta plus bhokta. Bhokta means experiencer. Experiencing what? What the karta does. So you do and you experience the consequences of your own doing. So a human being can be literally divided into two, karta and bhokta. A bhokta is dependent on, in fact, karta decides. Does the bhokta influence karta or karta influence bhokta? At least you should know at least for this you should tell the answer. Does karta influence the bhokta or bhokta influence the karta? Who influences whom? Who decides whom? Karta decides the bhokta, full stop. Karta decides the bhokta. Bhokta is entirely dependent on karta because bhokta is only the experiencer. The experiencer cannot do anything. It is the doer that decides what the experiencer should experience. Therefore, a human being is doer plus experiencer, experiencing the consequences of one's doing. Now, what is kartrutva? Why I did this? Why I didn't do this? I did this, but why I didn't get a result? I didn't do it, but I got a. I didn't do it, but I got a result. I was very lucky today, sir. I got a. Now, all these thoughts are called kartrutva. As a bhokta, as an experiencer, you can never be free. If you want to become free, you have to become free as a. Only when you understand that as a karta, you are free, as a bhokta also you can become free. As long as you believe that you are a karta, you can never become free. That's why people come and ask, freedom whatsoever I do, why am I not free? Because you still believe you are the karta. If we keep saying this, thank you sir, we will stop doing everything. You are not the karta, you are not the karta. Na? We stop doing whatever we ought to do. So we really do not know what is the kartrutva, not karma. Karma is different, kartrutva is different. Understand the difference. Karma is different, kartrutva is different. Since you are so attached to the kartrutva, you do not know how to segregate the karma and the kartrutvam. Because if the kartrutvam goes, karma stops. Only when I am the doer comes, action starts. When I am the doer goes, what goes out along with it? Karma also goes out. So, what is very important to understand? Karta has omissions and commission. Are you okay till now? Now I'm going one step deeper. What makes all actions have omission and commission? Because as a karta, you can never have complete knowledge. All knowledges that you have is always limited by nature. Therefore, you are always acting as a karta. A karta helplessly acts with limited knowledge. When you are acting with limited knowledge, your actions will have omission and commission. Are you okay at the second point? Can I have complete knowledge? Then comes the third point. Can I have complete knowledge? There is no such thing as perfect knowledge, complete knowledge. Aham Brahmasmi, only complete knowledge, perfect knowledge. Rest of the knowledges are all imperfect. When we say imperfect means subject to change. When we say imperfect means it is subject to change. When we say imperfect, we are not calling it as wrong knowledge. Understand the difference. We are not calling it as wrong knowledge. It is subject to change. When it is subject to change, your action also keeps changing. And when your action keeps changing, you start getting doubts. Why? Because you should be doing the same thing, no sir. You should be a steady person, no? You should be a person of doing the same set of activity. How can you keep changing? What is kartrutva now? All actions are done with limited knowledge. Therefore, it will have omission and commission, and bhokta dependent on karta will go through these fluctuations. Again, I repeat. All your actions are always done with limited knowledge. Since all actions are done with limited knowledge, there will always be omissions and commission. As a bhokta, you will be going through the fluctuations of omission and commission. Now comes the question, what is freedom then? What is freedom then? Recognizing this is freedom. Recognizing this is freedom. What is recognizing this means? Omission and commission. If you can understand this in yourself, and if you can understand this in another, You will never punish yourself, nor you will punish another. You will never hate yourself, nor you will hate another. You will never get angry with yourself, nor you will get angry with another. Why? Because you understand. What is understanding? All of us can act only with limited knowledge. All of us act only with limited knowledge, and limited knowledge means omission and commission. As an experiencer, you will be going through these fluctuations. And this fluctuation is superimposed upon you. That is the whole idea. See, why they are talking about this fluctuation so much is not to tell you how to deal with this. Oh, this is a very good, how to manage the fluctuations. Atmabodha is teaching us very good, no sir. That is not Atmabodha saying. Atmabodha is saying that is a, what is Atmabodha saying? That is a superimposition. That is a superimposition. Superimposition means what? I remember giving this verse. Prakritehe kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashaha ahankara vimudatma. இதெல்லாம் நான் சொன்ன ஞாபகம் இருக்குது. சங்கர் நான் சொல்லன்னு சொல்லிட்டார். அதனால ஐ எம் ரீஸ்டார்டிங் ஒன்ஸ் அகைன். இதெல்லாம் நான் சொன்ன ஞாபகம் இருக்குது எனக்கு. அகங்கார விமூடாத்மா. Hey, somebody support me, no? I told you this last week, no? எல்லாம் குவைட்டா உட்கார்ந்திருந்தா சங்கர் சொன்னது கரெக்டா எடுத்துப்போ. SRL சங்கர் எங்க இருக்கிறாரு அவரு? அவர் பக்கத்துல யாரும் இல்ல. இருந்தா தள்ள ஒரு குட்டு கூட்டுங்கன்னு சொல்லிருக்கலாம். கிவ் ஒன் நாக் அட் த ஹெட்னு சொல்லிருக்கு. அகங்கார விமூடாத்மா கர்த்தாஹம் இதி மன்யதே. அகங்கார விமூடாத்மா கர்த்தாஹம் இதி மன்யதே. SRL Shankar should have said, sir, எனக்கு அந்த verse புரியல, எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணுங்கன்னு சொல்லிருக்கணும். He should have told me, I didn't understand the verse. Repeat that verse, explain that verse னு சொல்லிருக்கணும். Are you able to follow what he did? He said, எடுக்கவே இல்லைன்ட்டார். I got such a shock. What is that? I thought I woke up from coma or something and I got into Atmabodha class today, that I forgot what I did in the previous class. Ahankara vimudatma vandavane I remember. Ahankara vimudatma kartaham idi manyate. Because of this because of this ahankara, kartrutva, the person says, actions belong to the matter and I am the previous verse. 2 verses back, 2 verses before this, Shankaracharya said, Atman is the permanent non-doer. Atman is the permanent non-doer. He has already explained it. From that he is saying, whenever you say, since Atman is the non-doer, whenever you say I am the doer, who are you? Who are you? I am the self. Who are you? I am the self. You being the self, Sakshi, witness. You should say, I am the self. I am the self. I am the self doesn't do. I am the permanent non-doer. Whenever I say I am the doer, it is known as kartrutva. Are you able to follow? And what is this kartrutva? Believing that you are the doer. Kartrutva means you believe that you are the doer. And as long as you believe that you are the doer, you have to face the You have to experience the consequences of your action. And what are the consequences of your action? Punya or papa? Two, only two. Punya, papa means agitations or peace. Happiness, sukha and dukkha. Papa and punya means sukha and dukkha. So either sukha or dukkha is the product of kartrutva. As a bhokta, you say I am experiencing sukha or dukkha. Are you able to follow? Who says sukha or dukkha? The bhokta part in you says, the experiencer part in you says sukha or dukkha. The doer part does. The experiencer part says sukha or dukkha. In that sukha or dukkha, you are entirely decided. Your sukha and dukkha is decided by not the action, by the sense of doership behind the action. Segregate this. The sukha and dukkha is not decided by the action. The sukha and dukkha is decided by the sense of doership you bring into action. This sense of doership is called kartrutva. Are you able to follow? A person of kartrutva says, sir, this is my legitimate right, sir. Why can't I? This is my legitimate right. Why can't I demand it? That is why in the Bhagavad Gita, when he says, Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana, you have no right over the result. Don't be result oriented. We can't accept that statement because I am the karta and I have legitimate right over the, as a karta, I have legitimate right over the result, the fruit. Are you able to follow? Kartrutva means the sense of doership. The sense of doership. Shankar. Okay, why? SRL Shankar. Verse number 22. Movement, etc. of water to the moon in it. I'm not going to the example because I spoke about the example. The example I spoke about it in the last class. The moon reflected in the sheet of water acquires the properties of the water. The moon reflected in the sheet of water acquires the properties of the water. If the reflecting surface is clear, clean, the moon is clean. If it is muddy, dirty, the moon appears unclear. If the surface of the water is wavy, movement, moon seems to be trembling, whereas it is the surface of the, so it reflects the properties of, it acquires the property of the reflecting medium. Therefore, what are you supposed to say? What are you supposed to say? You are supposed to say, I am not the, I will do with the full understanding that I am not the doer. Actions will be done with the full understanding that I am not the doer. Actions will be done with the understanding that I am not the. Are you okay till now? It is the doer. Now, doer belongs to the kartrutva, one part of the personality. Now he is talking about the bhokta, which is verse number 23. He is saying, you are not the karta. Verse number 23, he is saying, you are not the bhokta also. What is verse number 23? Ragecha sukha dukkhadi buddhau satyam pravartade shubtau nasti tannashe tasmad buddhestu atmanaha. Attachment, desire, pleasure, pain, and so on. Attachment, desire, pleasure, pain, etc. arise when intellect is present. Not in deep sleep when it is absent. Therefore, they are of the intellect and not the Atman. And who are you? And who are you? Visveshwara Rao. Who are you? I am the Atman. Ah, correct. Next week, he can take a break from the class because he gave the right answer. Yeah. Who are you? I am the Atman. I am the Atman. I am the self. I am the Atman. Attachment, desire, pleasure, pain, etc. arise only when the corresponding instrument is present. So, therefore, it is proven that it is of the instruments. Again, I repeat. Look at the analysis. They arise only when the instrument is present. Therefore, it is the interaction of the instrument with something else, and you have nothing to do with it. What is this attachment, desire, pleasure, pain, etc.? Raga, Ichcha, Sukha, Dukkha, Adi. Adi means etc. And the rest. And the rest. Intellect here means the interpreting mechanism. It is the intellect that interprets and call it as Sukha, Dukkha. How does it work? We have seen this analysis any number of times, and we will also go through it any number of times till we become wise. What is it? Wherever there is a sense of emptiness, a void is felt. A void is felt when you feel you lack something. A void is felt when you believe that you lack something. Are you able to follow? When you believe that you lack something, there is a void. This feeling causes the intellect to reach out to fill the completeness. It drives the intellect. How does it drive the intellect? It says, explore the world, find something that will satisfy you, to fill the void. As a result, a stream of thoughts starts flowing. As a result, a stream of thoughts starts flowing. Flowing towards what? Towards that particular object or being which you are convinced that it will fill the void. It will not go towards anything. It will go towards a particular object or being which you think that it is going to fill the void. Yeah. Jeevesh void will be filled today, 7:30 p.m. Yeah, Jeevesh was in void. Wow. From May he was having this void. What is the void of no IPL? 7:30 Jeevesh will attain moksha. When he sees the IPL happening, Jeevesh will attain the moksha. What is moksha? Void is filled. What is void? IPL? IPL has started. Now, for RG, sir, it doesn't really matter whether it starts or it doesn't. It doesn't start. For RG, sir, it doesn't really matter whether it starts or it doesn't start. Who wins, who loses, it doesn't make any. Why? Because there is no. His void is not going to be fulfilled. His void is not going to be fulfilled by IPL. Are you able to follow? So, but everybody has a emptiness inside. Everybody has an emptiness inside, and whatsoever they believe is going to fill the void, thoughts will start going towards that object or being, to acquire that, to hoard it, to preserve it, so that the void is filled. Are you okay? Always remember verse number 62, 63, chapter 2. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, 62, 63 is the fundamental formula. The entire Vedanta, if you forget everything also doesn't matter. But don't forget these two verses, 62, 63 of chapter 2. Ladder of fall. Dhyayataha. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu pajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho pijayate krodhat bhavati sammohaha sammohat smriti vibhramaha smriti vibhramshat buddhinashaha buddhinashat pranashiti. எனக்கு இந்த ரெண்டே verse தான் தெரியும். அதனால இது மட்டும் I will say very fast because these two verses only. It all starts with a thought. What is the thought? This will fill my void. The moment you are convinced that this will fill my void, you will get attached to it. This is called attachment. This is called attachment. This alone can fill my void. This alone can fill my emptiness. And you get attached, and you get attached to it. Are you okay till now? You get attached to it. After getting attached to it, you will find somebody also believes that their void is also going to get fulfilled only through this. You are believing, are you able to follow what I am saying? You believe that through this object only, through this being only, your void is going to get fulfilled, and then you get attached. After getting attached, you suddenly realize what? There is a lot of competition. What is the competition? Somebody else also believing that their void is also going to get fulfilled only through this, through the same being. Remember the classic example. Tom is in love with Elizabeth. Tom believes that his void will be fulfilled only by Elizabeth. And he thought he is the only only soul on earth. And suddenly he recognizes John comes in between. What is John coming in between means? John also believes that his void is going to be fulfilled only through Tom and John will not say selflessly, let us share. Tom and John, will they say that? What will Tom and John do? What will they do? They develop anger, hatred towards each other and take a knife and stab each other or plan to eliminate the anger makes you destructive. Are you able to follow? Anger makes you destructive. Why? Because you thought, you are so convinced that this is the only one who's going to, this object or this being is going to fill your void. And when you see somebody else is also claiming, somebody is also chasing it, then what happens? Competition starts. Competition means intelligence has to be used. Yeah, that's why that intelligence is so dangerous, because intelligence is born out of competition. Are you able to follow? That's why intelligence is, Vedanta doesn't have that big value for intelligence. Why? Because the root of intelligence is competition. What is competition? I have to get it. I should be the first one to get it. Not only I should get it, I should be the first one to get it. It should remain exclusively with me. Are you able to follow? And then you do something and get it, only to realize that you do all this, you get it, only to recognize what? Void is exactly the same. Emptiness remains the same. That's where you say, this object cheated me, this person cheated me. Why? Because the void didn't get fulfilled. Therefore, what do? You leave this object and go to the next object. You leave this person and go to the next person. Only to realize what? Only to recognize, only to realize the void continues to be the same. When a desire is fulfilled, sukha. When a desire is fulfilled, dukkha. Interruption na krodha. When a desire is fulfilled, sukha. When a desire is unfulfilled, it is dukkha. When it is interrupted, krodha, what he calls as attachment, desire, pleasure, pain, etc. All are of the intellect. All are of the intellect means what? All are of the intellect means, carefully follow, the intellect here is used predominantly in the sense of subtle body ignorance. Intellect which is driven by ignorance. The same intellect, if it is equipped with Vedantic knowledge, turns exactly the opposite. Are you able to follow? What is implied here? The intellect which is trapped in ignorance. The intellect which is driven by avidya. The intellect which is driven by Maya does all this. The same intellect which is driven by Jnanam says, The same intellect which is driven by jnanam, what it says? Same intellect driven by jnanam, what it says? Instruments does all this, and I have to segregate. The intellect keeps saying this. It is of the instruments. Brahman is free from emotions, raga, dvesha, etc. God is free from raga, dvesha, etc. That is common sense. If God is also having raga, dvesha, then what is the difference between you, me, and you, me, Hiranyakashipu, and God? All are same. Yeah. For you are also a victim of raga, dvesha. I am also a victim of raga, dvesha. Hiranyakashipu, Ravana is also a victim of raga, dvesha, and God also has raga, dvesha. All four are on the same place. Now, God doesn't have raga, dvesha. That are correct. What drives the intellect? What is it that is driving the intellect to do this? What is it that is driving the intellect? I said it already. It is ignorance. Ignorance here means lack of Shravana and Manana on Vedanta. Ignorance here means lack of Shravana and Manana on Vedantic knowledge. Intellect which lacks this Shravana and Manana and Vedantic knowledge, that's it. But sir, I have done lot of Shravana and Manana, but still why it is happening? Somebody may ask. Somebody can ask, I have done Shravana, Manana for okay. Just to make everybody feel so depressed and disappointed. Just to make everybody feel so depressed and disappointed. SRL Shankar, எவ்வளோ வருஷமா ஸ்ரவண மனன ஓடின்னு இருக்கு? Type it. He's search பண்றாரு type பண்றதுக்கு. He's searching to type. 40 years of Shravana Manana is happening. Let us see what numbers he is putting. I know 40 years of Shravana Manana is happening. But then, sir, nothing of it is happening. It means what? 38. Appo kuda you are right, sir. He is not typing. No, 40. He said 38. Now you understand, no? Why Shankaran Vedanta is Padmapatra Ivambasa? Now you understand. At least you would have said big deal, 38 and 40. I know, 40 years. I know. 40 years of Shravana and Manana. Now Jeevesh will be thinking, oh my God, 40 years of Shravana Manana, nothing is happening. He thought in 6 months he can get everything. And I also made him to believe in 6 months he will. 6 months like he will get it. He also correct, uncle, 6 months like I will get it. I said, yes. 6 months like you will get it. When the 6 months start, he asked me, I said, that I will tell you, wait, I said. When will the 6 months start? I said, that I will tell you, wait. 6 months didn't start, I said. Shravana and Manana. The intellect lacking in Shravana and Manana, driven by ignorance, says, what? I am happy, I am elated. I am depressed because I am in dukkha. This sukha and dukkha affects. What is the cause of sukha and dukkha? What is the cause of sukha and dukkha? Out of ignorance, the intellect so convinced that something from the external world can fill the void. The intellect so convinced that something from the external world alone can fill the void. And how much ever your desires are fulfilled, the void still remains the same. Elsewhere, the Upanishad asks, how is it that the human being, understanding this, continues to chase the desires again and again? Knowing this, why does the human being chase the desire again and again and again? The Upanishad says, that is called the power of Maya. Maya Kalpita. Krishna also uses the same word in the Bhagavad Gita. Maya Kalpita. It is the power of Maya. Are you okay till now? What is power of Maya? Attachment towards what I possess, longing for that which I do not possess. What is Maya? Attachment to that which I possess and longing for that which I do not possess. This is called Raga and Ichcha. Raga means attachment. Ichcha means longing. I am explaining it technically now. Raga means attachment. And what is attachment? Attachment towards that which you possess. When you don't have a child, you long for the child. You have a desire for the child. And having had the child, you get attached. And this Raga and Ichcha, what it does? The Raga and Ichcha consequence in Bandham. Bandha means bondage. Bondage is the result of this consequence. And what is bondage? In the previous verse, it is the previous verse, bondage is described in terms of, explained in terms of Kartrutva. Now bondage is explained in terms of Bhoktrutva. Bondage is of the instruments and I have nothing to do with it. Only when you identify with it, this is the crux. Only when you identify with it, it comes into existence. When you stop identifying with it, as in the case of deep sleep, it ceases to exist. Are you able to follow? It comes into existence only when you identify with it. As in the case of deep sleep, when you stop identifying with it, that's why the comparison that he is giving here is deep sleep. Previous verse nude comparison enna? Moon in water. In this verse, the comparison is, what is the comparison in this verse? Deep sleep is the comparison. Each and every verse has one example. One upamana. The upamana of verse number 23 is deep sleep. Just as all the sukha and dukkha ceases to exist in deep sleep and comes back as soon as you wake up, but comes back waking up na identifying. As soon as you identify with it, it comes back. What is the instrument that identifies? What is the instrument that identifies? the intellect, the subtle body, you start experiencing sukha and dukkha. Someday you get up thinking, why did I get up? Someday you get up and you say, wow. Clear? I am also waiting for 7:30 p.m. Huh? And 7:30 p.m. has another 12, another 11 more hours to go. The moment you identify with it, it comes into existence. You stop identifying with it, it ceases to exist. The identification. The Sanskrit word for identification is abhimana. The Sanskrit word for identification is abhimana. Even though in English we keep saying identification, identification, the Sanskrit word for it is abhimana. And what is abhimana? The I gets mixed up with that. The I, instead of staying in its pure original form, it gets mixed up with this and misunderstands itself. The I identifying with the I identifying with stula shariram. The I identifying with stula shariram becomes gross body. When the I identify with the gross body, you become the waker. When the I identifies with the subtle body, it becomes the dreamer. When the I identifies with the karna sharira, the causal body, it becomes the deep sleeper. And the original state is beyond, and the original state, the I, is beyond this waking, dream and deep sleep states. Once you are able to understand this comparison, what is the comparison? In the waking state and dream state, you say sukha dukkha. In the deep sleep state, you say, in the waking state or dream state, you experience sukha and dukkha. In the deep sleep state, you say, ananda, bliss. So what is bliss? Where there is neither sukha nor dukkha. Where there is neither sukha nor dukkha is the state of bliss. So, if relatively not identifying with it for a few hours gives you that bliss, if you permanently not identify with it, it will give you permanent bliss. That is the comparison. When you stop identifying with it, it gives you a temporary bliss. When you stop identifying with it permanently, it gives you the permanent. Therefore, what are the two verses? Atman is neither the doer nor the enjoyer. It is the function of the mind and it is the function of the intellect, the mind and the karmendriyas, jnanendriyas. Atman is neither the doer nor the enjoyer. The doership and enjoyership belongs to the buddhi, the manas, the karmendriyas, and the jnanendriyas. Because of wrong identification. Now, what is right knowledge? Karmendriyas, jnanendriyas, manas, buddhi. Idella made up of what? Made up of what? What is the karmendriya, jnanendriya made up of? What is subtle body? What is mind and intellect made up of? Panchabhutas. Panchabhutas, the 5 elements. It means the 5 elements go through. The 5 elements go through all these. If I identify with the 5 elements, I will say, I am going through this. If I identify with Brahman, I will say, if I identify with the 5 elements, you will say, I am going through all this. If you identify with Brahman, you will say, elements are going through this, I have nothing to do with it. And what is Atma Bodha? What is Bhagavad Gita? What is Upanishads? What is Vedanta? Say, these agencies of action and equipments, the individual playing the dual role of Karta and Bhokta. The individual playing the dual role of Karta and Bhokta. Wrong identification says, I am the doer and I am the enjoyer. I am the doer and I am the enjoyer. These agencies of action and enjoyment belong to the equipments, and the equipments which is made up of the 5 elements. And who are you? Who are you? Who are you? I am the enlivener. I am the enlivener. I am the electricity enlivening the, remember that. I am the electricity enlivening the bulb. The intensity of the light is dependent upon the bulb. Yeah. In this part of the world, they say 0-watt bulb. No? Actually, there is no such thing called 0-watt bulb, isn't it? Some minimum watt, still they call it as 0-watt bulb. 0-watt bulb, 40 watts bulb, 60 watts bulb, Gund bulb. They do not know the wattage, so they say it is big bulb. All these light that comes out of these bulbs are dependent on the intensity of light that comes out of these bulbs are dependent on the bulb. Me being the electricity is enlivening all the instruments. You don't say, I am the Atman enlivening only one instrument. Huh? You should not say that. When you say, I am the Atman, what you should say? I am the electricity enlivening. I am the electricity enlivening all the bulbs, including this bulb. I am the electricity enlivening this bulb. That is understand. I am the electricity enlivening all the bulbs, including this bulb. It's not. No. Abdina inga konja jaasti kudukalame. I can enliven it slightly faster and better here. And if my enemy goes through, enemy of this goes through, cut the supply. It doesn't happen that way. Why? Because enmity or friendship is between the two instruments, I enliven both. Are you able to follow? I enliven the friend and I enliven the enemy also. Now I have nothing to do. This is Atma Bodha. This is knowledge of the self. This is knowledge of the self. The enlivening factor can stay independent of that which it is enlivening. The enlivening factor is not dependent on that which it enlivens for its existence. Are you able to follow what I'm saying? The enlivening factor can stay independent of that which it is enlivening, just as the clay is not dependent. Adukku clay and pot example you have to give. Just as the clay is not dependent on the pot, but the pot can never be. The clay is not dependent on the pot, and the pot can never be independent of the clay. Otherwise, it looks like Atman needs these instruments. Otherwise, it looks like as though Atman also needs these instruments. Atman doesn't need it. Maya created it. Right knowledge eliminates it. Atman remains the same. It is because of Maya, looks like something is happening. When right knowledge comes, you understand nothing is. When right knowledge comes, you understood nothing is. Nothing has happened. Past tense la sollu. Knowledge vandirthunale nothing has happened. Snake never happened. But 5 minutes back, you are only suffering by the snake. You will laugh at it. Why? Because you know that it's not that 5 minutes back there was a snake. Now the snake got. The destruction of the snake is an understanding that snake never existed. Are you able to follow? The destruction of the snake is an understanding that snake never existed. It is not that the snake came and then you did some, you used all your intelligence, you used all your intellect, you used all the Vedantic knowledge and then killed the snake and rope existed. It's not all that. What do you understand? Snake didn't. Snake never happened. Dream never. After waking up, dream never happened. Correct? After waking up. After waking up, will you say, people say that, no, what a fantastic dream, sir. Padila, I woke up. What a fantastic dream. Halfway through, I woke up. I should have, somehow I want to go back, close my eyes and somehow push myself back into the dream. It means what? You have not actually understood what? It means you have not actually understood what dream is. Somehow you force yourself into go back into the dream, no? As the Maya. It pulls you so much. It draws you so much. It attracts you so much that you cannot let go. You cannot let go of it. So, verse number 22, Kartrutva, the dual role of a human being. What is the dual role of an individual? The doer and the enjoyer. Karta plus Bhokta. The dual role of the individual. Karta plus Bhokta. Verse number 22, he said, you are not the Karta. Verse number 23, you are not the Bhokta. Raga, Dvesha, Sukha, Dukkha, na asti. Nasti na asti. Yeah. Madras Bhashayila kuda nasti panniduvanna, what does it mean? I will make you go out of existence, no? Na asti. I will make you na asti. Na asti combined becomes nasti. They say, no? Tasmad buddhestu na atmanaha. Tasmad buddhestu na atmanaha. All problems belong to the mind and intellect. As long as mind and intellect is there, you can never be free of the derivation. Huh? He is not saying all this. The beautiful word that he uses is Tasmat buddhestu na atmanaha. Inga sir padikirel kaitadinga. Verse number 23 than. Tasmat buddhestu na atmanaha. Tasmat buddhestu na atmanaha means all problems belong to the mind stuff, not to the Atma. Corollary. It means what? Mind can never be 100% free from problems. Problem-free life, Vanu sir. Don't have the mind. No. Keeping the mind, tell me how to have problem-free life. Then you say, Adada, you didn't understand nothing. We'll start. Pratasmarami hridisam spuradatma tattvam. We'll start all over again. Because mind itself means fluctuations. See, problem, na, understand it as fluctuations. What they mean is fluctuations. The fluctuation of Sukha Dukkha. Mind itself means fluctuations. Problems means fluctuations. Fluctuations means Sukha Dukkha. Yeah. Ordinary mind, how to keep it steady? In meditation, the mind becomes steady, no? You are falling off to sleep in meditation, and sleeping is keeping it steady, huh? Not meditation. You meditate and you fall off to sleep, and that sleep is keeping, because mind means Astira and Chanchala. Mind means Astira and Chanchala. Astira, remember that was Bhagavad Gita? And this mind which is constantly flickering, how to keep it? How to keep it steady? How to keep it steady? What is the answer? Krishna gives. He immediately gives the answer. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena tu guhyate. No doubt this mind is flickering like the, that's why it is equated to the monkey. Flickering, constantly agitated, moving, but it can be made steady only by practicing Vairagyam. The mind can be made steady only by Vairagyam. And what is Vairagya? when you understood Raga Dvesha as your enemy. When intellect has matured through Vedantic knowledge in understanding that Raga Dvesha is the enemy. Tauhyasya Paripantinau. Shatrum. 4 words he uses in the 3rd chapter, no? He says, it is Shatru. It is Paripantinau. It is enemy. It is enemy. It is enemy. It is enemy. What is it? Raga Dvesha. Raga Icha. This Raga, as long as this Raga and Icha of the mind is there, Sukha Dukkha will be there. Last thing. Is there a mind which can be free of Raga and Icha? When Raga and Icha goes, what goes? Mind itself goes. Because mind itself means attachment and longing. Mind na rendu. Vedanta makes it very simple. It doesn't go into too much of complications about the mind. It says, what is mind? 2 things. What are the 2 things? Attachment and longing. Attachment to that which it possesses, longing for that which it doesn't possess. Therefore, tasmat buddhestu na atmanaha. Conclusion and you can't identify with mind and ask for freedom. Again I repeat. You can't identify with mind and ask for freedom. Freedom is freedom from the mind. Freedom is freedom from the mind means freedom from Raga and Icha. Raga means attachment. Icha means longing. So through this knowledge, you understand. Through this Vedantic knowledge, you understand. What is it you understand through this Vedantic knowledge? As long as Raga and Icha are there, Sukha Dukkha will be there, cyclically. You can't be free from Sukha and Dukkha as long as you have Raga and Icha. Absence of, when you stop identifying with this, there is bliss. Example, the Upamana. The example is deep sleep. The example is deep sleep. Are you okay? Therefore, he says, don't try to, as long as you keep your identification with the mind, you cannot get freedom. Abhyasena tu kaunteya, vairagyena tu guhyate. You will get freedom by the constant practice of vairagyam. And what is practicing vairagyam means? The instruments which is made up of the 5 elements interacting with each other goes through Sukha and Dukkha. I have nothing to do with it. This practice is Vairagyam. And by this Vairagyam, you gain the Atma Bodha, the knowledge of the self. And when we say knowledge of self means, you know it. It's knowledge not as an information, knowledge as in direct experience. Is it okay? SRL Shankar. Verse number 23 முடிச்சிட்டானா? He's not replying, huh? With this, yes. Yes, got that. So verse number 23 is over. Next class, we start with verse number 24. Okay. One second. There are so many things are there. Yeah, there are no questions. Yes, there is only one question. Venkatachalam. Is Atman dependent on the instrument Buddhi to remove Maya through Vedantic knowledge? Yeah, I think it is answered, no? Yeah, yes, I think it is answered. For it is self-knowledge. It is not Buddhi that is going to give the knowledge of Brahman. It is self-knowledge, meaning which recognize it without the need of any instrument. Self-knowledge means knowing something without dependent on any instrument. Color and form is dependent on instrument. Sound is dependent on instrument. Emotion is dependent on instrument. Intelligence is dependent on instrument. Knowledge of Atman is not dependent on instrument. Is it okay, sir? Yeah. Another clarification. What makes the constant practice of Vairagya possible? What makes the constant practice of Vairagya possible? The constant practice of Vairagya is possible by a student who is qualified. A qualified student, Adhikari, would be able to practice constant Vairagya. In this classroom, we are trying to develop ourselves to become the qualified student to practice Vairagya. Only a person who is qualified would be able to practice Vairagya. Now, what is the qualification? The qualification is of twofold. Shravana Manana and Sadhana Satsampati. Shravana Manana and Sadhana Satsampati. By doing that, the practice of Vairagya becomes by doing this, the practice of Vairagya becomes
possible.
Is it okay, ma?
Yes.
So in this classroom, we are trying to mature ourselves to a level where we will be able to practice Vairagya
Constantly.
Is it okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
With this, we conclude for today and we continue next.